Hi, my name's Rozana Himaz and I'm going to talk about why boys are falling behind. And the topic of this talk covers SDGs 4, 5 and 10. An increasing trend in middle-income countries is that females tend to outperform males in terms of attainment at school and in terms of enrollment in higher education. Disparities in Sri Lanka in this regard are particularly high. So the objective of this paper is to look at the extent to which parental aspirations, teacher characteristics such as attitudes, implicit attitudes towards students, and school characteristics can explain gaps in math scores amongst grade 7 students who are aged 12. The paper also looks at enrollment in post-compulsory education and the youth labour market in Sri Lanka to try and glean some insights as to what may be explaining the gaps in attainment at school level. We use two sources of data. To explain gaps in attainment, we use a survey that follows 72 schools. The baseline survey was carried out in 2012 and the follow-up in 2016. And the survey includes student, teacher and household data for 20 students each per school from a grade 7 class for each year. The other source of data that we use to look at post-compulsory enrollment in school and labour market outcomes is the 2012-13 Household Income and Expenditure Survey collected by the Department of Census and Statistics. To understand what drives attainment, we use a difference in differences model. To look at gaps in attainment, we use the Oaxaca blinder decomposition, and to check for robustness, we use this Oaxaca decomposition using reweighted recentered influence function model. To look at post-compulsory education, we use a Probit model. So what drives math scores? Our first set of results show that being male exerts a significant negative effect on math scores. The school level intervention, the school-based management program, has no impact at all. And at the household level, the education level of the most educated adult in the household exerts a significant positive effect. But more importantly, parental aspirations and implicit teacher attitudes exert a significant positive effect on scores. The results for the decomposition analysis shows that differences in math scores between boys and girls is significant, and it is significant across the math score distribution at every quantile. Now, what explains differences? What drives differences in these math scores between boys and girls? The results show that differences in endowments are not significant. Therefore, what we call the explained component and differences, the explained component is not significant. Instead, it is the unexplained component that refers to differences in returns to endowments that's significant between boys and girls. So what the previous results showed us was that it's not differences in endowments, but it is differences in returns to endowments that have a significant impact on the gap in attainment between boys and girls. Now, in the literature, this difference in returns to endowments is often attributed to discrimination. Now, we need to then find what the source of this apparent discrimination might be. So we move beyond data that looks at schooling, and we move to looking at post-compulsory schooling data. And we look at what influences enrollment beyond compulsory schooling amongst 15 to 25-year-olds. We run a Probit model and we report here the average marginal effects. We notice that being male exerts a significantly negative impact on enrollment. So the likelihood of being enrolled is less if you're male. But these results also show us that the opportunity cost, so the opportunity cost measured in terms of foregone earnings, plays a significant negative impact on enrollment. And further results show that this opportunity cost effect is worse for men. So for men, enrollment or foregone earnings affect enrollment in school more than it does for females. The results in the paper also show that in the labour market, for every level of education, for every occupation level, men earn more than women. So there is significant positive discrimination of men in the labour market, a significant positive bias that favours men. So in conclusion, this positive discrimination of men in the labour market and bottlenecks in higher education may be important in understanding the unexplained gap in school attainment. This also emphasises the need to look beyond school-level interventions to address the issue of gender imbalances in attainment.